How did you come about
Tony rose to fame after
inventing
training rock and roll.
or the P90X, the whole thing? I want to hear about that.
Well, I had been, I was working a little bit. I was working with Nordic Track, going back and forth to Minneapolis. I had a show on the Playboy channel called Playboy 360 where I was the host. So it was a 3-camera show with teleprompters and a co-host. So I was learning how to, be more comfortable in front of a camera, in front of an audience, all that kind of a thing.
All right. So you're doing Nordic Track.
Yeah, and so I was just, getting better at that kind
That
of
was
thing.
a dumb machine.
No, it was silly. It was silly.
It was on the wood. It was on the rollers.
Yep, and it was just this over and over and over again. But whatever, it was a gig. So I would fly to Minneapolis about 6 or 7 times, and I would be their on-camera spokesperson dude. And then that was an experience, and I had that show that helped me out. And then one of the gigs was just this young entrepreneur that said, "Hey, man, I'd like you to be the main trainer in this really inexpensive little thing called Great Body Guaranteed." It was a $2,000 gig, and that was that. And then we put it out into the world, and then people noticed it, started making money. So he said, let's do another one, which is kind of rare because most things that end up on an infomercial die a horrible death. So we did something called Power 90, and he gave me some time to develop that. And he said to me, he's like, when you're working with Petty or Idol or Bruce or Annie Lennox or whatever these types, can you recreate that in front of a TV without all the extra accoutrement, with just the dumbbells and some bands? And so, yeah, sure, it's a gig. I'll figure it out. And I did. And then that thing, I lived in the same apartment for 21 and a half years, and that Power 90.
21 and a half, was it rent controlled?
1438 15th Street, Santa Monica, rent controlled apartment. Car got broken too, like at least twice a month. It was, it was the hood sort of where I was.
Well,
Not really.
The nicest of hoods, but yes.
Yeah. And then Power 90 came out, and I was getting royalties at that point, and I was able to move on and get a real home. And after that, we thought, like, what's next? And then, I thought it was a bad idea making Power 90 harder. And we said, let's call it P90X. Let's add pull-ups. Let's add martial arts. So he gave me a full 8 months to develop that program. And when we first put it out there, it died because people went, holy crap, that's way too hard. I'm not going to do that. But then there was these devotees that went, oh, shit, that thing's real. And they started submitting their before and after pictures and their own little video. And we took that footage and their photos and we put it in the infomercial. And it went from, and it was on every channel 24 hours. And
now, were you, did you have a stake in this?
Yeah, I got development money. And I also got a piece of the pie every month. I get a check every month. Jackpot,
would you say? P90X?
Apparently, it was the biggest fitness program in history, something like that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, in my office back in the day, there was one copy of it that we all pirated.
Yeah, a lot of pirated. It was at one point, for whatever, some 6-month period of time, it was the single most pirated DVD in the world.
That's something.
And I would sign them, and I go, that's pirate. I could tell. I used to go to D.C. and train all the senators and congressmen when I was there. I used to go to the Pentagon and train folks there. And they'd go, hey, can you sign my thing? And I go, Congressman, this is a pirated copy.
During the P90X thing, let me just get a few of these right here. We had a Crunchy Frog, Super Skater, Spin Squat. Looking back, do you wish you would have spent a little more time coming up with names for these exercises?
Yeah. Okay. Well, most exercises are called like latissimus dorsi, lat pulls. And the most traditional names were dull. And I would add names because I go, this name sucks. We got to get a better name here. And it helped me too.
Are you trying to cheat death?
No, death's coming, and I'm all right with that. And
don't you think we'll be able to just download our brains onto something and then put it into a new body?
It'd be kind of cool if I could live long enough so that whatever they come up with, I can.
I'm all for that. Tony was great. Thanks for being on the show and for changing my body physically. We did a before shot before the interview of my body, and then we did one after. And you can see that Tony completely transformed me. And I wish you the best.
Appreciate. Likewise, man.
Thanks, man. Tosh Show.